Mr. Devendra Kisoon, President of GICOSA, Ms. Lisa Foster, Secretary, Kisiana Odol, or PRO, our exec members, Ms. Larissa Wilshire, Renee Ford, Kwesi Grant, our Assistant Secretary, Ms. Renu Ramsudar, the HM, Ms. Donna Els, our DHMs of Queen's College, Ms. Candace Cave and Ms. Liverpool, our graduate senior mistress, Ms. Henry, students, special invitees, members of the media. Thank you all for being here. A pleasant good morning to you. My name is Christopher Belfield, the second Vice President of the Queen's College All Students Association, and it is a distinct pleasure to welcome you all to the Queen's College All Students Association 50 Years of Girls at Queen's College. And of course we have Ms. Pauline Chase, our immediate past president. Yes, it's been just 50 years that co-education commenced in Guyana. And like many other institutions across the country, Queen's College said goodbye to some of its boys and kicked its doors open to welcome the girls. I'm told that while some men of that day were highly in delight, some of them were also highly aggrieved, and they still remain so to date. But here we are 50 years later, celebrating this phenomenal milestone. I know some persons are still hungover from our 180th anniversary, which was celebrated just last year, October, in grand fashion. And it is off of the heels of those celebrations that QCOSA has recognized that the Queen's College we now know, in the Queen's College that we have known for the past 50 years, would not be the same without the inclusion of the phenomenal women that has graced the hallowed halls of that institution and contributed significantly to academia, sports, and the arts. So as leading institution in the country, we thought it was prudent to highlight and celebrate the accomplishment of these women. I still remember in 2009 when I entered Queen's College, the school was in a celebratory mode after celebrating Yana Marissa's Edwards' success of being named the top student of the country with 14 grade 1s and a grade 2. And that was really big at that point, that type of accomplishment. And I remember there were lots of conversations surrounding her sitting 2 foreign languages and getting her double major in agriculture and music, and commenting on the significance of Queen's College in her success. She said, at the school it teaches integrity, self-preservation, and she noted that this takes you beyond into your work life and into life itself. And I do believe that there are no other truer words that were spoken about Queen's College. The girls of Queen's College continue to shatter the glass ceilings and challenge limitations, and they account for so many of the college's most significant successes, as I have seen in my 7 years at the school. So it is with all of this on our plate that we celebrate the significance, the rich history that women have brought to Queen's College and how they have been able to shape the college over the last 50 years. Today's program is very brief. We would have some welcome remarks I did the welcome remarks. We would have some remarks by our president, Mr. Devendra Kisoon, and also the principal of Queen's College, Ms. Donna Lewis. And then Ms. Pauline Chase would go into her schedule of activities. We'll go into sponsorship packages by Ms. R. Ramsundar. And then we'll unveil the logo, we'll have a questions portion, and then we'll just get into some mingling and short refreshments. So without any further ado, allow me to welcome Mr. Devendra Kisoon, President of Queen's College, and my friend at the bar. Welcome.
And thank you to the teachers and students of Queen's College who took the time out of their schedules to come. It's an honor to stand before you all here today on this momentous occasion. Queen's College, as many of you know, was founded in 1844 as a school for boys. Now, that's a very, very long time ago. And for more than a century, it was a school that heralded young men into distinctions of academia, sports, and other disciplines. And these persons would go on to be leaders not only in Guyana, but outside of Guyana in all fields and disciplines. But it wasn't until 1975 when the school opened its doors to girls coming to the school. A decision that would not only change the history of Queen's College, but would forever enrich the tapestry of our legacy. Now, you can only imagine how difficult it must have been in 1975 for girls to have attended Queen's College. Not only would there have been dissent among the ranks of the persons that were there for the last 100 years, but even with the facilities that were there and the equal access to opportunities within the school and outside of the school, it was a very daunting task. But immediately from their joining of the school, women excelled and continue to do so today. I dare say that women are doing 10 times better than the boys could, strictly because of their discipline, conscientiousness, and commitment to be able to achieve the tasks. They want a better life. The boys tend to take it for granted. So, as it turns out, Queen's College is so much a better place for having girls in it today. We're no longer looking at it, whilst this is a celebration of girls coming to Queen's College, against the history of what happened before. We're so happy for the equal participation of all. Now, since the girls have gone on to Queen's College, gone on to attend Queen's College, they have distinguished themselves in all fields: sports, all professions, academia, research, in all professional disciplines, political disciplines. For example, in my profession, current Chancellor of the Judiciary went to Queen's College. And it's quite something that's remarkable. So the message here today for yourselves and all students of Queen's College is that the sky is truly the limit. We at the Queen's College All Students Association reaffirm our commitment to the well-being of all students, especially the girls of Queen's College. And of course, we're here to assist in every way, shape, form possible. May this celebration remind you about the constant evolution of life and the constant evolution of our institution, which is a demonstration of its strength. We are forever adapting to the changing fortunes of time, and that ability to quickly adapt is something that a lot of institutions don't have the ability to do. On behalf of QCOSA, I extend our deepest gratitude to the women who have paved the way, to the teachers who have nurtured them, and to all who continue to support the mission of the school. It would be remiss of me not to thank, of course, the teachers that are here, and Pauline Chase for putting this together, making sure that this milestone is properly remembered. To the students here today, I hope you're all inspired by this rich legacy, and you need to know, regardless of your gender, your class, you have the power to leave your mark not only in Queen's College and in Guyana, but in the entire world. Thank you, and happy 50th anniversary to you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Kisoon, for those warm comments. I was standing here in the corner of my eye. I saw Mr. Marcel Gasking, the chairman of the Queen's College Board of Governors. So I would just like to acknowledge his presence here today. I would now invite our new principal, Mrs. Donna Lewis-Iles. Please give it up for her.
Thank you so much, Mr. Belfield. Thank you so much, Mr. Kisoon. Good morning, everyone. It's indeed a privilege standing here this morning because 50 years ago, Queen's College opened their doors to girls. And that was the said year that I was born. So I'm saying, how fitting is that? To be standing here as the head teacher for Queen's College, celebrating 50 years this week, when we're also celebrating 50 years of opening the doors to girls. So indeed, that alone in itself is a privilege for me to be able to celebrate with you 50 years marking the inclusion of girls at Queen's College. 50 years ago, the doors of the esteemed institution opened a wider, embracing a more inclusive vision of excellent education. Today, we are honored to be the trailblazers and to honor the trailblazing young women who walked through the doors, and I was told one is sitting right here with us this morning. And so this paved the way for the generation to come. Their achievement in academia, leadership, service, and society are a testimony to the power of inclusion and progress. This celebration not only tribute to the past, but a call for a continuing shape of a future where every student, regardless of the gender, can be a leader and an inspiration. What step was given to guide that privilege, that courteous leadership, including the first female principal, Ms. Diane Rutherford, that was the first female principal at QC, whose vision helps the foundation for a generation of students to come. We also must pay tribute to our very own, I'm saying that for emphasis, Miss Pauline Chase. I know she didn't know I was going to say that. who was always played an integral part for Queens College All Student Association. Even as a past president, she continues to ensure that students are encouraged, students can embrace, and students can be inspired. Today, we will reflect not only what was done in the past by the Trailblazers, but what is to come. We have so many examples, and I love what Mr. Kisoon said, but I had some, and I said, like, he peeped my speech a little bit. And we have so many examples of QC Old Girls. We have our very own Minister of Education, Ms. Priyamani Chan. We have the acting Chancellor of the Judiciary. We have so many of them in the court. Ms. Pauline Chase being an example. And so our students have great examples to look up to. Currently the students at Queens College, we had Recover Guyana. And for the past 3 years, Queens College won all 3 years, and all 3 times it was won by girls. And so the girls are really the trailblazers. And not only that it was won by the girls, but they were also coached by female teachers. And so as we all know, Ms. Diane Henry really played an integral role in that aspect. And even when she was injured with her legs, we had all the other female teachers assisting her. Ms. Bentham, Ms. Andrews, Ms. Morian, just to name a few. Look at where we are today. Remember the purpose with currency 444, and I'm emphasis 4 female teachers. So we have yours truly, and then I have 3 deputy vice principal, Ms. Cave Stevens, Ms. Ramlagan, and Ms. Liverpool. So the females are really leading Queens College. May this anniversary be remembered for its power of inclusion and the legacy we each help to shape. It is Michelle Obama who says, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. And so I want to say thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me this privilege to sharing in this auspicious occasion. I thank you.
It is indeed a great responsibility that Ms. Lewis Iles bear, having to lead Queens College after such a rich legacy. And I must know that she is here in the Queens College colors. So I know she is already off to a good start. She speaks about trailblazing with the women of Queens College, and it reminds me of Pauline Chase, who's our first female president of the Queens College All Students Association. We're now back to the regular MO with a guy on top. And then we have persons like Miss Yolanda Prasad Sami, our chess titan, who is here and continues to support Queens College in the arena of chess. at the school, and we've been recording significant successes, especially from girls at Queen's College in Chess. So thank you so much. I would now call on Ms. Chase to come and lead us in the schedule of activities for this celebration, our 50 years of girls at Queen's College. So just let's welcome her warmly.
Thank you, Christopher, and thank you all for your warm welcome. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you this morning, and please permit me to stand on the protocol so elegantly established by Mr. Belfield. I will take you through the events which will commemorate the 50th anniversary. But before I do so, we've heard a bit as to how we've gotten here in this moment of time. Girls were admitted in 1975. We're now 2025. This is 50 years later. But I'll share with you a little as to how we got here to celebrate this event. Last December, maybe just after Christmas, my dear friend, and only a friend can do this to you, so I have to call her dear. My dear friend Amala Luncheon reached out to me, an alumna, and she says, Pauline, what's QCOSA planning to do for the 50th anniversary of girls, which will take place next year, which is now this year? And my immediate thought was, you got to be joking. We had just wrapped up the 180th celebration, which was, we organized and put on 17 events in 7 days. It was no easy task. Planning for that had started 2 years before, since 2023. The save the date was put out planning had started in 2022. The save the date was put out in February of 2023, and the events took place between the 20th to the 26th of October 2024. And here was she in December of 2024, asking us to start it all over again. But, we're QC people, so we're up to the challenge. And we discussed it as an exec. I reached out to the school, feedback from other alumni who were also then thinking about what was coming up the following year. And as Christopher and Devendra would have articulated, we did think that it was an important milestone to observe and to commemorate, to have a look back and take stock and put things on record of where we were and where we are. Girls started, as we know, in 1975. The 8th of September 1975 was the first day that girls would have formally entered Queen's College. And by 1980, we would have had the first Guyana scholars, Indra Gopal and Roxanne Rambiar, who regrettably is no longer with us. But by 1980, we had 2 Guyana scholars, and by the early 90s, we had our first cohort where girls outnumbered boys for Guyana scholarships. And girls have gone on to really make their mark in Queen's College's legacy and the country and the world as a whole. I thought it was important that we take stock of it. 50 years is a good time. I'm happy to say that when girls started Queen's College, I don't get to say this very often anymore. I was not born yet. So please permit me to take the opportunity to say that. But really put on record where we are. So with that, I reached out to some other alumna, Karen Wharton and Michelle Mickle, who also worked with us at the 180th celebrations and were so helpful. And they also then reached out to Felicia DeSantis, another alumna. All 3 of them reside overseas. And it's only fitting, since Amala put us to this work, that she also do some work. And with our engine room, Lisa Foster, who's our secretary, we formed ourselves into a little committee, and we started to plan, with QCOSA exec being the overarching deciding body. And so this is what we came up with. And of course, feedback from alumni, and we have some WhatsApp groups, and we would chat and we'd ask for feedback, and people are quite engaging, and sometimes they say, listen, Pauline, don't ask us, just tell us what we're going to do. We know you're going to decide anyway. But that's not true. We do like to take a consultative approach. So we first decided that we would have a weekend of activities, and that brings me to our first change. So we issued a save the date earlier this year, and you would have noticed the save the date would have been from the 12th to the 14th of September. But with all the best laid plans, life doesn't always go that way. So elections were called after, for the 1st of September, and then it was announced that school was being pushed back to the opening to the 8th of September. So I called Ms. Cave. I said, Ms. Cave, can we put this on in 3 days or thereabouts if school opens on the 8th and we start on the 12th? And because of the involvement in the school in the activities, and whatever we do at QCOSM, you would have noticed it with our 180th. We try to involve the school and the students of the school in whatever we do. So with that, we decided we had to push the date back. So you would notice now that the dates run from the 17th to the 19th of October. And on the 17th, we start with the opening of the exhibition, 50 Years of Girls in QC. That is part of the record keeping. Now, some of you may also have noticed that we would have put out a call for contributions early in the year also, in March, because it's 50 years. We cannot possibly know everybody and everything that you have done, but we want to make sure that you're included and you're counted in whatever sphere you're doing. There's space for everyone. So we're really asking people to reach out. There's a link, there's a QR code that you can scan, and just submit your information to us so that we can ensure that you are part of the celebration, and we can ensure that you are on the record of your contributions. And that exhibition, the opening will take place on the 17th, and it will be at the school, and it would run for at least a week, depending on how it goes, maybe longer, but at least a week. Then on the 18th, we will have a virtual event. So the celebrations would be hybrid, in person and virtual, and this is a virtual aspect of it. Her Story, Queen's College, 1975 to 2025, and that will be on a Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. and on the Zoom platform. And this came about through consultation because there are a lot of alumni who are overseas and can't make it back, but want to be a part of the celebrations and what's going on. So we will have panel discussions on that day. So as usual, if you're interested in being on the panel, please reach out to us. And because we like to party, we end with a social event on the 19th. It's titled Royalty, and it's a tea party, and it will be held at Austin House. Austin House in Kingston is very significant to Queen's College because our founder lived there, and it's named after him, Lord Bishop William Percy Austin House. So we will go there to have a tea party in the afternoon and get together. Accompanying this weekend of activities, we are also planning to publish a special edition magazine, as we did for the 180th. A call for articles was put out early in the year, and the deadline was yesterday, June 30th, and we have had some persons contribute already, and it's very encouraging, and I know Ms. Henry is working with students to also produce articles. But that, of course, will be extended, and please look out for that notice of extension of deadline, since we have pushed back the celebrations by about a month. It would also, of course, capture certain historical aspects of girls of the school, so many firsts. So our first female head prefect, Alyssa Trotz, our first female Guyana scholars, as we mentioned, our first champion girl, and different areas like that. So if you were a first in something, please reach out to us so that we can include it. Now, while we're celebrating girls, we haven't forgotten the boys. You all still play a very important part, as we see with Christopher here today and Devendra. And we're all a community. We're all a Queens College family. And this is not by any means solely a girls' event or events. They are intended to include our colleagues of the opposite sex who are always there to support us and as we support them. So for instance, the panel discussion will include, for instance, boys from that period who will give you their perspective on what it was like to have girls enter those hollowed halls in 1975. My president can't stop smiling at this thought, right? And of course, the opening exhibition and even the tea party. It's a high tea, you know, there'll be champagne. There's room for everybody. So with that, that's our event schedule. I also wish to acknowledge we have two of our first girls who would have been admitted in 1995. Kathleen and Suzanne, if you can just please acknowledge them. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We do have the challenge where a lot of our girls from that time are no longer here in the country, and that's why we have the virtual event. But if you are here, please do reach out to us because we do have some interviews planned and some other activities leading up to these celebrations. I wish to thank Ms. Cave, who is always my right hand at the school and my planning partner. She's been working with us to execute not only today, but the activities which we will roll off in October, as she did with the 180th. A lot of the success was due to her. So thank you, Ms. Cave. And thank you, Principal Isles, and thank you to all the teachers and the students. Thank you for being here. And with that, I will turn you over to Ms. Belfield, who will then turn you over in short order to our Assistant Treasurer, who will go through the sponsorship packages because we have to pay for all of this. So thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Pauline Chis. I know out of the quorum she mentioned that us guys are also included in this event, but the girls do rule us ever so often. Speaking about girls, I would like to welcome Ms. Ramsundar. She is now a part of our QCOSA family. She will take us through our sponsorship packages, so please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Madam Principal, this is Donna Lewis-Isles, our QCOSA President, Mr. Devendra Kissoon, other QCOSA representatives, special guests, and media personnel, good morning. My name is Renu Ramsundar, Assistant Treasurer of QCOSA, and I have been tasked today to present you with our sponsorship packages to commemorate this auspicious milestone of Queens College, 50 years of girls at the school. QCOSA, as Pauline said, we need to pay for these events. So we have a comprehensive package of 4 packages actually that we will be offering. So we have the bronze package that is $100,000 that entitles you to event branding and anniversary memorabilia. Our silver package, which is going for $200,000 and allows you access for a quarter-page magazine ad, event branding, anniversary memorabilia, and 1 tea party ticket. Our gold package at $300,000 entitles you to a half-page magazine ad, event branding, anniversary memorabilia, and 3 tea party tickets. Our platinum package at $500,000, it entitles you to a full-page magazine ad, event branding, anniversary memorabilia, and 5 tea party tickets.
Yes, so we're winding down our program for the media launch this morning, and we are now at the stage where we will unveil to you the logo that we would be using to celebrate this milestone rather. that was decided upon consensus for the celebration of 50 years of girls at Queen's College. And there was quite a lot of back and forth in designing and deciding what logo to use, because the most important aspect of it was to represent the diversity of the girls at Queen's College. And so we didn't want to make anyone feel left out in the imagery. So this is what was decided upon. So you'll be seeing a lot of this logo as we engine up to celebrate 50 years of girls at Queen's College. I am also very delighted to know that we have two of the alphas here with us, and I know we will be hearing from them as we get warmer. So I would now open the floor for questions from the media, from anyone who would like to get clarity. So if we have any questions. Okay, it seems like we did a phenomenal job in being clear, which I appreciate. So I'll going once. Ms. Chase, you want to take that, or you want me to do it?
The focus on the exhibition, as I mentioned, is really to put on record the journey of girls through Queen's College. So accomplishments are varied. I don't want anyone to get the idea, we've been very particular in the planning committee, and not to have anyone get the idea that you have to have attained a doctorate in something to feel accomplished. Accomplishments are varied, and in whatever sphere you are, we want to have you included. So while it will be categorized, we have space for everyone. So whatever your journey was through Queen's College, we want you included, and we want you to be part of that exhibition.
And in order to help us achieve that, it really is important for persons to make their submissions via the medium that we have made available for that. We don't want on the day of the exhibition or closest to the exhibition, we're hearing, oh, I didn't know about this. My Nana's accomplishment isn't there, my accomplishment isn't there. If there is something that you want us to know, that you want us to celebrate, you know someone who you think should be included, you could reach out to them, you could probably message us and let us know. But we're really looking towards, being able to put on the type of exhibition we want with your help by getting that information. So, yes. Any other questions? It was a great question.
Okay, I'm not sure if it was mentioned already, but can you say in essence how many activities are happening since this year's special year and you guys are celebrating your 50th anniversary?
Yeah, we have three main activities that we would have mentioned on. Just 1 second. We will go back to them. Yeah, so like Ms. Chase sort of explained, the celebrations are running from the 17th to the 19th of October, and we start with an opening exhibition titled 50 Years of Girls at Queen's College. Then we have Her Story, the virtual event.
So to really share experiences through those 5 decades of girls at Queen's College. And the other panel will bring in the boys to have their perspective. See my president perked up again. To bring in the boys to have their perspective through the years also, and perhaps how those perspectives may have changed from 75 come all the way down to 2025. So we do have 2 panels fixed at this time. We're hoping that once we have more feedback after this event and other promotions, that we can expand if need be. But those are the 2 main panels at this time.
As you all heard my name, I'm Piaro. As we wrap up today's launch, I want to extend our sincere thanks to everyone who made this moment possible. To the Marriott, thank you for your generous hospitality, for providing such a welcoming space to begin a journey that will be unforgettable. To the media houses, Ignite, Newsroom, Channel 16 Nightly News, Lecture Live, our own media host, Perception PR, we appreciate your presence and support in helping us share this story with the world. As a matter of fact, let's take a moment to give special thanks to Perception PR for making this celebration one that will for sure be unforgettable with all the support provided. So let's give a round of applause to him and team. To all our guests, thank you for taking the time to be here. Your energy, your enthusiasm, your support, it's truly set the tone for what promises to be a truly memorable occasion, rather a celebration. And to the Queens College Old Students Association exec body, along with everyone who has contributed and will continue to contribute to marking 50 years of girls at Queens College, we thank you. The celebration of 50 years of girls at Queens College wouldn't be possible without your commitment and love for your legacy. This launch is only the beginning, and we're so proud to have you on this journey with us. Let's keep the momentum going and let this celebration officially begin. Thank you.